In 1760, the Collins family departs Liverpool and sails to Maine, New England, where they establish a thriving fishing business that leads to the founding of the town of Collinsport and their grand estate, Collinwood. Despite their growing wealth, the head of the family ensures that his son, Barnabas Collins, is raised to prioritize family above all. 15 years later, Barnabas has an affair with Angelique, a servant who secretly practices witchcraft. When Angelique demands his love rather than just physical affection, Barnabas admits he doesn't love her. Furious, Angelique casts a spell that kills his parents. Suspecting something sinister, Barnabas delves into the occult while starting a romance with Josette Dupré. Overhearing their declarations of love, Angelique, consumed by jealousy, uses magic to compel Josette to leap off a cliff. Barnabas tries to save her but is too late. He jumps after her but survives, as Angelique curses him to live as a vampire, ensuring his eternal suffering. To further torment him, Angelique rouses an angry mob, exposing Barnabas as a monster. The mob captures him, locks him in a coffin, and buries it in the forest. In 1972, Victoria Winters boards a train to Collinsport, answering an ad from the Collins family seeking a governess. Hiding from her past, she adopts the name Victoria after spotting it on a poster during the journey. Upon arrival at the dilapidated mansion, she is greeted by Willie Loomis, the caretaker, who explains that the once grand estate now operates with only 2 staff members, himself and Mrs. Johnson. Elizabeth Collins Stoddard, the family matriarch, meets privately with Victoria to discuss the job. She reveals that only 7 people live in the house, leaving large portions of the mansion unused. Elizabeth is impressed by Victoria's quick wit and hires her. At dinner, Victoria meets the rest of the family. Elizabeth's brother, Roger Collins, a lazy and ineffectual man. Elizabeth's rebellious teenage daughter, Carolyn Stoddard. Roger's troubled young son, David Collins, who claims he can see the ghost of his deceased mother. And Dr. Julia Hoffman, a psychiatrist hired to help David but more often found drunk. Victoria bonds with David, admitting she believes in ghosts, which displeases Elizabeth. Later that night, Victoria encounters Josette's ghost in the hallway. The apparition warns her, saying, "He's coming," before reenacting her fatal fall from the cliff and vanishing. Meanwhile, in the forest, a construction crew digging for a new McDonald's stumbles upon Barnabas's coffin. When they open it, Barnabas awakens and, driven by decades of starvation, kills the workers, apologizing for his ravenous appetite. Bloodied but free, he walks toward Collinwood, bewildered by modern technology and fashion. Upon arriving at the estate, he hypnotizes Willie in the garden, compelling him to provide information about the family and clean him up before leading him inside. Barnabas attempts to introduce himself to the Collins children, but Elizabeth quickly interrupts and pulls him aside for a private conversation. Skeptical of his identity and dismissing the supernatural legends about their family as mere fairy tales, she demands proof. Barnabas reveals a secret room within the mansion that even Elizabeth was unaware of, filled with hidden treasures. He promises to restore the family's former glory, using the wealth from this discovery. Elizabeth reluctantly agrees to accept him back into the family, but imposes one strict condition: no one must know he is a vampire. The next morning at breakfast, Elizabeth introduces Barnabas as Barnabas III, a distant relative from England. The family discusses their financial troubles, explaining that the once thriving Collins fishing empire has been overtaken by Angel Bay seafood. When Victoria enters the room, Barnabas is immediately captivated by her resemblance to Josette and can't resist flirting with her. Meanwhile, in town, Angelique, still alive and now operating under the name Angie Bouchard, is the powerful CEO of Angel Bay Seafood. When she learns about the disturbance in the forest, she visits the site and is horrified to find Barnabas's coffin open. Wasting no time, she heads to Collinwood, where she exchanges sharp words with Elizabeth before Barnabas pulls her aside for a private conversation. Once alone, Angelique kisses him and reveals that she has built her fishing empire specifically to destroy the Collins family. She declares that Collinsport is now her Angel Bay and that the townsfolk respect her while the Collins name has been forgotten. She warns Barnabas that no one will believe his return. Shaken, Barnabas confides in Elizabeth, who reassures him by reminding him of his resilience and determination. Inspired by her words, Barnabas resolves to reclaim the family's legacy. He begins selling treasures from the hidden room to fund the restoration of Collinwood and the revival of the family business. He hires workers to renovate the mansion and re-establish the Collins Fishing Company. Using umbrellas, sunglasses, and hats to protect himself from the sun, Barnabas ventures out during the day but struggles to find a comfortable sleeping arrangement, ultimately requesting his old coffin to be brought back. As the business gains momentum, Barnabas cleverly lures fishermen away from Angelique by hypnotizing her captains and persuading them to join him. In his spare time, he familiarizes himself with modern technology and grows closer to Victoria. One evening, Roger spots Barnabas exiting the secret room with treasure, which piques Julia's curiosity. Convinced that something is off about him, Julia invites Barnabas to her office, where she hypnotizes him and forces him to reveal his vampiric nature. Shocked, she storms off to confront Elizabeth for hiding the truth. Elizabeth persuades Julia not to involve the authorities, pointing out the scientific opportunity in studying Barnabas. Intrigued, Julia agrees to keep his secret. Later, Barnabas seeks Carolyn's advice on courting modern women. Carolyn tells him to abandon his old-fashioned ways and mingle with cool people. Following her suggestion, Barnabas joins a group of hippies in the forest, sharing stories and smoking with them. However, when they reveal that love, not wealth, is what women desire, Barnabas kills the group to satisfy his hunger. The next day, Julia begins experimenting on Barnabas, giving him blood transfusions in an attempt to cure his vampirism. During one of their sessions, Barnabas compliments her, and Julia, conflicted between her professional ethics and attraction, responds by engaging in a physical act, emphasizing her growing fascination with him. As Barnabas and Victoria grow closer through their shared interest in the supernatural, Angelique becomes furious over the Collins family's revived success. Despite her board members dismissing the Collins impact, Angelique insists on crushing them to continue her grandmother's legacy. She summons Barnabas for a meeting and offers to buy his company, but he refuses. Enraged, Angelique threatens Victoria's life unless Barnabas loves her. Succumbing momentarily, Barnabas sleeps with her, but later regrets it, prompting Angelique to vow his destruction. Victoria begins dreaming of her childhood encounters with Josette's ghost, recalling how her parents sent her to an asylum where she endured years of harsh treatment. Josette's ghost reappears, asking for help, as Barnabas announces plans for a grand ball to remind the town of the Collins legacy. Carolyn advises him on modern parties, and on the night of the ball, Barnabas impresses everyone by hiring Alice Cooper. However, he discovers Roger stealing from guests and having an affair with an employee. On the balcony, Victoria confesses her past and her feelings for Barnabas, leading to their first kiss, witnessed by a furious Angelique. Determined to become human for Victoria, Barnabas finds Julia transfusing his vampire blood into herself to achieve immortality. Furious, he kills her and disposes of her body at sea. Later, Barnabas catches Roger trying to steal treasure and offers him a choice: leave forever with money or stay and be a better father. Roger chooses money, breaking David's heart. After saving David from a falling disco ball, Barnabas is exposed to sunlight, revealing his secret to the family. Horrified, David and Victoria flee from him. Desperate, Barnabas seeks Angelique, who demands they rule together or she'll seal him away again. When he refuses, she chains him in a coffin and blows up the Collins Company building. David, warned by his mother's ghost, rescues Barnabas. Meanwhile, Angelique rallies the town against Barnabas using a recording of his confession to Julia's murder. A mob storms Collinwood, but Barnabas fights back, exposing Angelique as a monster by cracking her enchanted skin. As the house turns against the family under Angelique's spells, she reveals she orchestrated all their misfortunes. With David's help, his mother's ghost attacks Angelique, causing her to crash into the chandelier, which kills her. As the house burns, Angelique dies, giving Barnabas her heart, which crumbles to dust. However, Barnabas can't find Victoria, only to learn she's at the cliff. She believes their love is doomed because she is human, and he is not. Heartbroken, she jumps, but Barnabas transforms her into a vampire before she hits the ground, allowing them to be together forever. They kiss as Julia's body, deep underwater, opens its eyes, revealing she has also become a vampire.